take the high road and just say thank you and leave.
Don't take the high road, Paul.
But I have something to say to you! I've waited a long time to say this! I almost forgot about you!
Or I'll do things differently. I make my own rules because it's much easier that way. You made a mistake by turning your back on me because I don't play no game.
One more time for old time's sake! Right there so the whole world can see us!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of Oh No Wrestling.
10.
Can you hear them? Can you hear the crowd going wild over there, Duncan?
I can definitely hear them. I can feel them. The building is shaking. The rafters are reverberating.
A lot of people would have doubted that we would have actually made it this far. A lot of podcasts in general don't make it even into double digits. So they don't know us as well. They don't know that me and my friend Duncan. First off, I'm Owen. My buddy on the other line is Duncan, speaking to us from beautiful Denver, Colorado. And yeah, they don't know that me and you, we would be doing this anyway. And we just happen to hit record and talk some wrestling shit, man.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, but this is also the third podcast that we have gotten into double digits.
This is true. And one far, far more than others. Guys, if you're not familiar with the Ono Radio Show, I implore you to go check it out. OnoRadioshow.com. This is where it all started. And it sort of spun off into, this wrestling show that we're doing for you now. So if you like this, you'll probably like Oh No Radio Show, is what I'm saying. We're what episode? We're in the 260s or something. I don't know what we're at anymore.
I know. We're well past that.
Yeah. But no, I don't. That shows that show, and what this show's all about is wrestling, my friend. First off, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I am, I'm preparing for, the fact that in less than a month I will be doing back-to-back nights of Raw and SmackDown Live.
Yes, indeed. With me. Very, very soon.
Well, that is going to be something entirely different. It's been, how long would you say, Ellen, that it's been since we have actually watched wrestling physically together in the same place? Has that only happened maybe once?
It's happened it's like twice, and I think the last time it was actually not this past WrestleMania, but the WrestleMania before.
So, no, because I was still on tour for that one.
Was it SummerSlam then? We watched. We watched
something. We watched something before together. I moved out here.
Yes, definitely. So it's going to be fun to watch it together again. And I can't wait. I'm going to be going out to Denver. I think I fly out on the 3rd. And yeah, we're counting down the days now. We've only got one set of shows really in between us now.
Exactly.
We got one more show before I'll be in your town, and we'll be doing our thing. But yeah, we definitely
and we've also got.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I wasn't going to say anything important.
No. We've also got like the greatest wedding, maybe sort of wrestling themed of all time that's ever going to happen. So we're all excited about that.
It's wrestling themed without being wrestling themed. It's got just enough in there to if you know whose wedding you're at, you should probably not be surprised. And if you have anything derogatory to say, I would implore you to suck it.
It's very appropriate. How would you rate this week's wrestling shows, Duncan, as a whole? What sort of overall, without independently, overall would you put the wrestling this week between Raw and SmackDown?
Over what? Like we're putting them together and we're averaging them out?
Yeah, if you were, well, you can say maybe just on their own. Then you can say on their own.
Well, I mean, like I would give overall the week in wrestling probably about a B, maybe a B minus.
A B
Raw
minus
was solid.
overall.
SmackDown was less solid. SmackDown started off real bad.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of SmackDown, but everything I've heard
That's
from
okay.
it doesn't seem like I really needed to.
I'm not often going to be the guy who's just like, no, dude, you don't really need to watch it. But like the first fucking almost hour of SmackDown Live, you didn't really need to watch. Like it wasn't, the opening segment was an absolute train wreck. After that, it just kind of like went up and then plateaued.
It was the women that opened it, right?
Yeah, it was Daniel Bryan opening it.
Daniel Bryan.
And then, yes, opening up a contract signing between Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch.
One of the better questions that was posed to us was, is Becky getting better or worse? I did watch some of that promo, and I think it was better than her usual stuff. I think it was too, and I have to hope that it was, but I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't worse, but I don't know if it was better. Yeah. I think she's growing overall. I think she has the potential to. She just seems so green on the mic. She just doesn't know how to react, off the, she can cut a pre-rehearsed sort of promo, but if anything sort of like slightly differentiates from anything that she was like had in her head that she was going to say, she's just like, she's lost. She doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't have the improvisation yet.
I completely agree. And that's unfortunate. And when she does, she tries to be like, I don't know, she's trying to be this weird kind of like cutesy badass that just falls real flat for me.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. She needs a bit of edge to her character that isn't really there, which is what I guess makes it so fun to see Alexa Bliss, who she might not be the best in the ring. We don't even know yet, but she's such a good bitch. And maybe that's. I think she deserves a lot of credit. I think she's not the best on the mic either, but
No, but at least
she knows who her character is. Like she's got full. Yes. She owns her character.
Her character is Harley Quinn.
Whereas, well, kind of. It's a massive bitch.
Harley Quinn.
Her appearance is Harley Quinn, but she's just basically she's just a bitch. I mean, like she's a good old fashioned.
She's a good old fashioned. I am like a good old fashioned, just superior bitch. Like just. Everybody knows one of those girls.
Oh, in our entire lives. Whereas your Becky Lynch's, you're just like, they're those girls that are kind of annoying in high school because they're nice, but they're really good looking and athletic, and they're still smart to a degree, like
right.
They're that chick in high school that is so like, oh, you're so well rounded and perfect, we can't even hate you, but we want to so bad. And that's maybe,
or it's not even that we want to hate you. It's just we can't figure out why we don't fully like you.
Do you think it's harder for women to develop characters than the men?
Yes.
I think
it would almost
has to be right. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know truly how to put it into words, but it feels like throughout even like modern cinema and like just the way women are portrayed, there's not as many
exactly. It feels like the way that women
to use.
women have 4 options. You know what I
Right.
mean? It feels like they're very limited into what lane their character is allowed to develop that.
Like
You know, they're the plucky underdog, they're the over the top bitch, they're, you know, like they're the dancer, or they're the outside of wrestling athlete that is now in wrestling.
for all that it was a comedy act, remember back in the day, and man, Taylor is gonna hate me, our number one smark of the smarks in our, you know,
The
whole
smark of smarks.
the smark of smarks in our whole like group here. He's gonna hate me for not remembering this, but you'll probably remember it. There was a woman's wrestler way back in the day that was just basically she was a comedy act, but she was just fat. And she used to dominate all the smaller wrestlers. And she was with Harvey. Was it Harvey Finkel? No,
No, it was Harvey Wimpleman.
Harvey. Yes, I'm mixing Finkel. Damn it, Harvey Wimpleman. And
Did they call her just
the
Big
Bertha? It was Big Bertha. That's exactly right. Yep. But at least it was like a different variation of what a woman wrestler can be. I'm not saying it was the greatest, but it was at least outside of sort of the general archetype.
But
It was
isn't that
stupid.
exactly what Nia Jax is?
She is, I guess, a more modern version of that. But at the same time, all she's very one-dimensional in her character. Like, she has no charisma. And whereas if you watch the Big Bertha, like, she was a good comedy act, you know? Like, she at least had the charisma to do what and she had a heat back in the day. People hated her. And it became funny that she was with a small dude. And yes,
she was the earthquake of the women's wrestlers.
Right, but she owned it, and I'm saying, like, yeah, Nia Jax could be that person, but she's got to own, you know, like actually a little bit more than I'm just me, Nia Jackson, big, and like she's not been packaged well. I don't think her theme song shit, her attire's weird, like it does nothing really for her, And I hate to say it, but she's put on a few pounds in the last few weeks. I mean, maybe it's that tour life or whatever. And I get that she's supposed to, you know, be big, and that's fine to have a bigger wrestler. But I'm just saying, little pudge, little too many donuts.
You're just fat shaming. That's all you're doing.
Just doing a little fat shaming on Nia Jax, and she can come over here and, you know, what's her finisher now?
Put it on your face.
What's her finisher?
Dude, I don't know what her finisher is. It's something where she just gets mad and throws another girl down real hard.
She had one for like a week or two where she was doing this like side slam thing, I think. Wasn't that
Dude,
it?
I don't know. The matches last 30 seconds. I'm usually hitting the bong during it. I'm not fucking paying attention half the time.
I think all of us, when we watch Raw or SmackDown, like the women come on, it's like, okay, time to like put the pizza in, or you know,
go take a piss.
Go take a piss or smoke break.
Okay, but it's not that. But it's not all the women. It's the dumb matches.
It isn't all of
like
them.
that.
It's the dumb matches, and I'll say the same for this type of thing too. Really, I mean, like the squash matches with Braun, which was another match that was on Raw, and it's like now he's fighting actual guys, which is good because he fought Sin Cara. I think that was the second time, right?
The second time.
Second time. So it's basically the same match as like the week before. Now, at least Sin Cara, like there was like actually a couple of moves. I think I said it in the chat to you. Like, well, that's probably the best match Braun has had yet. You know, like he actually there was like 3 moves. There was like actually a couple interchanges, and yeah, we knew Sin Cara was never gonna win, but it actually looked like he might get a little offense, and did, and there were. It wasn't all just throw someone around. Like there was a couple of moves in it, and maybe Braun's getting better. I don't think. I mean, it's slow development for sure.
It's a little hard to tell if he's actually getting better or not. But I would think that he's. Hey, dude, I don't know. They just want to push monster heels and shit, and does that really work anymore in a world of legitimate tough guy badasses like fucking Bork Lobster?
Bork Lobster, yeah.
Like, and as much as like we don't like him on a human level and are tired of seeing him in the ring, like he's somebody
he would beat the fuck out of Braun Strowman.
Right.
He would absolutely destroy him. Yeah.
So like, why are we trying to like do this weird thing where we've got, like half kayfabe and half fucking, work shoot, and it's reality, but it's not reality.
I don't hate it all, though. Like, I kind of
I don't either.
I
don't either. I'm just saying in this particular instance, like with Braun Strowman.
With Braun.
The only thing that he has to offer is that he's fucking big.
Yeah. I mean...
But he's not the Big Show.
No, he's not, because the Big Show actually had more than, like, one move. Big Show could
the Big
actually
Show has
do...
talent, and am I the only one that gets a little bit concerned for the jobber that Braun is just throwing around the ring, because it looks like he is not giving any sort of consideration to them at all?
No, it's I mean, it's obviously meant to look like that, but at the same time, like, yeah, Braun's hurting those dudes. Like, Braun is definitely, like...
He's not doing them anything. He's not taking care of them.
Yeah, he's definitely not taking care of them. I will say I'm glad that they have abandoned this sort of weird backwards choke slam thingy he was doing as his finisher for a little while. It just looked really awkward.
How dumb was that?
But now basically his new finisher is this, like, power slam, I guess. I mean, it's kind of a jumping-ish.
I mean, it worked for the British Bulldog.
It's not bad. Oh, dude, I didn't even think of that. You're absolutely right. It's almost the same finisher, isn't it?
The running power slam?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as good as the Bulldogs. It doesn't look near as good.
It's not as good as the Bulldogs.
And it will never be, but no, I like it a lot more than that stupid thing he was doing.
Yeah, like the backwards choke slam. Like, we get it. Big dudes can choke slam people.
Cool.
It's not impressive anymore.
What was surprising, which I didn't think anybody actually really, I didn't think it was going to happen, was they addressed the double pin on that Bailey Sasha match.
Bailey Sasha Banks match
from the week before. I thought they were kind of just sweeping that one under the rug, but no.
Like they're just like, nope, that was fuckery. We're gonna just not acknowledge that.
Yeah, but they didn't. They actually they did, and I don't know if that was intentional from the get-go or if they just turned it sort of into the angle. I kind of like it either way.
Yeah, I'm okay with it either way. Like, it was fine. It propelled the storyline interestingly,
The bigger question, though, is, are you sick of these triple threat matches? Because WWE seems to be doing them an awful lot lately.
The whole multi-person match is played to death right now.
Why do you think they do it? Because it's obvious that real wrestling fans would rather see a one-on-one or a tag team or,
I think the reason, honestly, my honest opinion, I think the reason they're doing it is because they have so many people that they actually want to feature to sell their merch.
Right. They've got to get everyone on TV.
They've got to get them on TV.
No, that makes complete sense. It sucks that it is that way, but when you have you can have a good fatal 4-way or 3-man match, but they have to be the right people. And sometimes it does a disservice to one or even more than one of the wrestlers, I feel, because you're not able to, I don't think, have, and I've never wrestled, so I can't say anything about this really without just completely just throwing out random things in the air here. But I would feel like it must be harder to have the sort of the charisma in a match and the connection with the other wrestler and the flow of the match that you're used to doing so many times, where it's a guy against a guy, and it must be so much more difficult to make it a 3-person affair or a 4-person affair.
It would have to be, but dude, look at these fatal 4-ways. 2 people are in the ring, and the cruiserweight match is the prime example that I would use.
Yeah, it is.
And it was a great match, but dude, it was 2 guys in the ring, and then like they're done running through whatever they're going to do, and then like, oh, hey, look, they miraculously both ended up outside of the ring at the exact same time that the two other guys ended up.
Thankfully, the cruiserweight match on Raw had some decent storytelling within it that glued it together.
It did,
but it
did.
very much ran
saying,
the risk of being a silly spot fest like they did back in the day.
And I wasn't even worried about. I wasn't
that's what I
even
think
worried
all
about
of
that.
us
It was literally. Yeah, and I would agree that their silly spot fest, like, that's what they used to look like. But my whole thing about it is that, like, all these multi-man matches, and it goes back to the whole Roman sleeping chant that happened a couple years ago when, you know, like, Roman's involved in a multi-man match and just laying on the side, like, out on the ground. Like, you got like just decimated that you have to literally lay there motionless for minutes on end while there are two other guys. It's like, come on.
Yeah, no.
It looks terrible.
I didn't like the fact that they didn't bring out T.J. Perkins in this cruiserweight thing. You've got a new champion. He should at least be out. I thought he should have been on commentary, or he should have been introduced before Mick introduced the four wrestlers that were fighting for the number one contendership on Raw.
Or he should have introduced those four guys and then be like, and you will all be fighting for the
this
number
man,
one contendership
yes.
to face this man.
Yes, and he will be sitting ringside on commentary, you know, like
something. Like,
and even if they don't have the faith on him to like be on commentary, so to speak, like put him by the side of the ring just without a headset on, watching the match, like just to have him there with the belt, like, and make him feel like he's a big deal, because right now he should feel like he's a big deal.
Well, right now they should also be treating it like it's a big deal because A, it is. But also B, because the crowd, most of the main audience doesn't know who he is. So they really need to like play up who he is.
I'll give the crowd some credit and they were in like Memphis, which I would not expect the Memphis fans to necessarily be into the cruiserweights. I might be wrong on that, but I thought they were a different breed than that, you know, like historically.
Right.
But I'll give them credit for. They weren't into the match at first. They were very, very quiet at the beginning during the introductions. They weren't really getting... I mean, there was a core group of fans that were just to keep it alive enough, and I'm sure they pumped the volume on it a bit. But you could tell at the beginning of the match it was real quiet. But by the end, there were "This is awesome" chants. They were really, really into the match. And I think they at least did their job to prove, like, oh shit, this can work on Raw. This can work on a bigger level.
I thought so too. I thought it was a really good match. I thought everybody performed really well.
I love Alexander, man. I think he's great.
Yeah, I like Cedric Alexander as well. I was also a fan to see Brian Kendrick.
I don't
win that.
Okay, we have to talk about Brian Kendrick a little bit.
Okay.
I think I have an unpopular opinion, and it was a good story that they told through the Cruiserweight Classic. But I have respect for Brian Kendrick, and I know the background, and I get it, but I think I am not a huge Brian Kendrick fan. I'm just going to say that off the bat, which like I said, I think it's a very unpopular opinion. My reason for it is when I watch him in the ring, I think it's like something as simple, Duncan, as his facial expressions. And I know that sounds dumb, but I don't buy him. Like, I just don't buy him as this like badass sort of guy. Like, I don't buy what they're trying to make his gimmick, you know? He's just...
I feel like they're probably... Like, really, he has the most name recognition in the WWE universe.
It makes sense to make him a heel and to kind of have that rivalry between, like, your face Perkins and have, you know, Brian Kendrick winning that, you know, first contender match, obviously to go on at Clash of Champions. It makes sense, but I don't know. He just looks like he belongs in a trailer park to me. And
I mean, he should honestly be on SmackDown with Rhino and Heath Slater.
Could be, but he's if he can he play that comedy gimmick? Do you think? Like, I mean, I know he's sort of done some shtick like that in the past.
Dude,
but-
I don't know, and honestly, like the whole redemption, road to redemption storyline of fighting my way from being fired.
was what
back
is
to
being
like,
told.
okay, fine, whatever.
It's kind of an old played out thing. Like, if anything, it would have been cooler if he was coming back to just like be a dick and prove that I was supposed to be here all along. Like, stop the humble stuff, Like, I was better than this the whole time.
Now that he's on Raw, that's what they
should do. But they should also have him team up with Baron Corbin, and they will be the Trailer Park Boys, and they will they will hang out at Earth Day Birthday and other rock, silly, new metal concerts. They will go to.
That's right. They'll go down
Disturbed.
to Tampa and they'll go see Kid Rock for $20.
Yeah, they'll go see Kid Rock together, and then they're going to form a tag team, and yeah, they'll be the Trailer Park Boys, and that's my prediction.
And then they'll get sued by the Canadians.
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Yeah, we have to insert 15 minutes of our love for the Frenchman gimmick that Baron Corbin will never adopt.
Oh, he needs to do it. He needs to just cut his hair.
Should.
Oh man, he'd be so good. Like, he just needs...
Even if he puts it, no, he doesn't even need to cut his hair. Put it up in the French in the chef's hat.
Yeah, put it up in the chef's hat. We'll bring him back.
And instead of that dumb flak jacket he's got, he can wear like an apron. And he can walk down in like a black chef's coat and take it off, like be all badass and shit.
He's gonna have to like
Hit
kind of
people
like
with a spatula.
waltzy sort of dance down to the ring as he comes down.
While he twists his mustache, as I am doing currently.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have friends with the
and
he's gonna be friends with the Vaudevillains.
Okay, wait, no, hold on. Do you remember how Rick the Model Martel would have that atomizer and he would spray arrogance at people?
Yes.
So Baron Corbin has a shaker of creme fraiche. And he sprays it on people in the audience.
Yes, spraying the arrogance just right in the air.
Right in there, yeah. Fraiche.
Before we move on with the show, I did want to bring up one other small highlight from SmackDown. It was interesting to see Ambrose beat Cena clean like that, huh?
Before we get into that, real quick, did you notice that Naomi's glasses you couldn't see through?
Oh no, she was blind. I'm pretty sure.
Like you literally, you couldn't see through them at all.
No,
they literally just took those glasses and glued the diamond shit onto them, and made it so that I would have if there was still a fucking 6-foot elevated stage, it would have left my ass on the street and fallen off.
Oh, it was so close to happening. I mean, I've put on the Macho Man glasses that I got in my my collector's edition box, and those things you can barely see through.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good on them for being able to perform under that. But yeah, dude, it was very strange to see Cena lose clean on TV.
It's the first time I heard since last October.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a while, dude. That's a while.
That's a long while.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do a prediction show about that too. But I guess it's just like, so do you think he's gonna? Do you think he beats AJ for the title?
Well, that's just do it then. Why don't we get into the next part of the show and just get straight into some predictions? But
we're only doing predictions.
Oh yeah, we can't predict No Mercy. We can't predict No Mercy. You're right.
No, so let's talk predictions.
I'm gonna say this. It's because it's the triple threat that's already booked for No Mercy, right? Like AJ, Cena, Ambrose.
Dean, and Cena. Yes.
Yes. So before we get into Clash of Champions predictions, I will say just preemptively that AJ retains the belt at No Mercy, and I think it will lead to an Ambrose Cena feud. And AJ's going to be like, who do I fight now? And I hope it's Bray and not Randy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's just pray that it goes somewhat like that before it really gets nasty. Anyway, we have bigger fish to fry, or more current fish to fry, with our predictions for Clash of Champions. Now, who's got the winning tab now since we started this? Since we started doing predictions on the show.
Of course, it's you. Don't be an asshole.
Sorry, I just had to throw it out there. And,
you
make
just
sure
had to throw it out there.
I forgot. I totally forgot about it. I totally forgot that I was the champion
sure
of
did
ONW
totally forget about it. The fact that you're like literally ahead by 1 point.
1 point, right? So what are we doing? Are we
by
continuing
exactly 1 point.
Are we continuing our previous point structure? Is that how we're doing this? And then
No, I'm just saying that I'm
or
petty,
refreshes.
and even though you're winning, I know that
it's
only
1-0 right now. Essentially,
it was 1 point.
All right. Well, we do it for every pay-per-view, So here we go.
Right.
Here we
so
go.
no. So we tied. Like you won the first pay-per-view that we did.
Yes.
We tied the last one.
Yes.
So this is now.
Here we go. Round 3 here. Round 3. I'm going to start at the bottom of the card. Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. Ooh.
Nia Jax all day. Like,
yeah, it
really?
has to be, right? It has to be. It's Nia Jax. Both of us the same on that.
Yep.
Sami Zayn versus Jericho.
Ooh. Now, going back to WrestleMania, we thought that that Chris Jericho AJ Styles match were just like, oh yeah, well Jericho will obviously put over the new guy to the company,
but
which makes you want to think that he would obviously put over Sami Zayn.
Right.
But does he?
I'm going to go with this. First off, Jericho has been tremendous in the last few months of just like reinventing himself and being better than like ever.
Jericho.
Yeah, but like almost better than he's ever been. It's really close
to
it. So here's the deal. I think Jericho's gotten to the point where he's created his character. He knows his character so well. He doesn't even need to win matches. And there's so much love for him going on right now that he's going to have an entertaining match with anyone you put him up against that's worthy. I'm going with Sami Zayn on this one because I think this is him really sort of like, okay, I don't need to win matches. I can put dudes over. Sami Zayn is the guy to put over for sure at the moment because he's been fucked. So yeah,
right.
And it only helps to fuel a Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, but
but dude, like that match will never get old. It won't. Those two are so good together that it won't get old.
So then we have. So you're going Zayn as well, right?
Yeah, I'm going Zayn as well. I think that
right.
Like Jericho, it's best for business, right?
This is it is. This is the problem that me and you are always going to run into, is that a lot of the time we are going to just call the same fucking thing.
And then we come down to like one where we're just like, I don't know, I'll go with this one just because.
Yep. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick in the Cruiserweight title match.
I don't think you put the championship on TJ Perkins just to job him out in his first appearance.
Exactly. And it might not even be I suppose, of course it will be, because that was the go-home show. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Again, weird why they didn't show him at least once on Raw, like apart, from in the video, package. But yeah, it's TJ Perkins all day long. We're in agreement there.
Totally.
Now, this one, it seems like a given, but at the end of the day, this could also be a real twist. Cesaro Sheamus.
A real swerve, if you will.
Yeah. Cesaro Sheamus in round 7 of their battle.
Now, you know what I'm going to say, because I called this from the beginning.
I think we both did, kind of.
Well, no, we definitely, we were both in agreement on it. But I feel like I'm picking Cesaro.
See, gut says Cesaro, but
yes,
but because of the already sort of like very predictable matches that we have all predicted, so like for the first 3. it leads me to kind of want to do the old Triple H ain't done with Sheamus. He's got a place. Maybe.
But Triple H is less involved with Raw than Vince is. Vince does like Sheamus, but dude, Cesaro's been growing. Like, so, and I feel like that pushes Cesaro into U.S. title situation with like.
Yeah, with what's coming up later down the line. Exactly, later down the line.
Right. So
we're both going Cesaro, goddammit, aren't we? We're both going Cesaro.
Yep, we are.
We are. All right, so still, we've predicted the same exact thing now. The next one is, again, another one that seems like it's a given, but may not be. New Day versus Gallows and Anderson, the Club.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the New Day for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
I love the New Day. You love the New Day. We all love the New Day. We're not sour, right? Like,
we're not sour. We ain't booty.
We're not sour. We ain't booty.
Definitely not booty.
Man, like, the New Day need to drop the belts.
We know that. I'm not sure that Vince feels the same way. Now, it would do a lot of damage to Gallows and Anderson to lose this feud right now. But
it would completely no. It would do more than a lot of damage.
Yes, it would bury them.
It would fuck them. They might as well be the shooting stars.
Right.
Shining stars, whatever. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
They might as well be the Puerto Ricans selling timeshares.
Exactly. Oh my God! By the way, people don't even really want those flyers too. Like you can see them like handing them off to people.
Dude, don't give me that. Like I don't want to litter.
Yeah, God damn it! It's like when you walk down the street in Las Vegas and they give you all those girly card thing, the hooker cards. Yeah, it's like that. It's like I don't need that.
You're like I don't want it. Take it away.
I don't want it. Go away. But
I know, dude.
So the logical choice is Gallows and Anderson.
Conversation during SummerSlam predictions, and we had the exact, and I'm going to call it the exact same way. I was saying Carl Anderson and fucking Luke Gallows take the belts off New Day, and then maybe they can drop the comedy bullshit and start being a dominant tag team for a little bit.
I think there's signs already that the comedy bullshit needed to be dropped. Like I think they forced that on people too soon. Like they needed to have been badasses, and then they could get into the comedy shit, like NWO and Diesel.
Or
they
needed to let them just be their naturally humorous selves and not try and
force them into wearing doctor's coats and doing the balls.
Dude, the first time it was great. The first time it was hilarious.
Should have been a one-time vignette. The reoccurringness. That did not work. So,
right.
This might fuck me here, but I still
think... You're going New Day?
I'm going New Day. Only because I'm not sure that Vince is done with that multi-million-dollar, it's just a money-making machine.
Oh, no.
It's a money-making machine.
He's not done with it. I'm not saying he's going to... what did I say? He was going to split up the New Day? No. To drop the belts off of them, so that they can go back to the bottom and
they can win again.
People on their way back to the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's your choice is the more logical choice. I'm not doubting that. You're probably gonna win this pay-per-view based on this gamble that I'm taking with New Day. But you're going with Gallows and Anderson, I'm assuming, right?
I am.
All right, that's the first one we've disagreed on. So.
The first split.
Yeah, the first split. Now we've got Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley. I'm going Sasha. It's just that's the easy, bankable choice, really.
Yeah, I mean, since they took it off of her because they thought that she was injured, and then it turns out that she's not.
And they've already set up the Charlotte Dana thing. That's an easy route for them to be involved for a while. She's going to put over Dana at some point. Bayley, then it's a Bayley-Sasha feud more than likely.
Right. No, I agree. I think that Sasha's the logical choice that opens up the most creatively. Then you got your boy
Ruru versus
against your other boy Roman Reigns.
Yeah, totally my boy. Fucking Samoan blood down for life, brah. Yeah.
That's right.
Brah.
You just start calling people oos.
Oh. Roman.
Yeah.
It's Roman. I think he takes that belt. I think he takes that
And
belt.
I think he takes that because it puts him in a program with Cesaro over the belt that could be
really fucking good too. And I really hope that happens because those are two guys that'll be really good against each other. Now, is that a chance to make Roman more heel because he's been going back again now, hasn't he? He's fucking straight up face again. Just as now Seth is really going face.
Big Show.
We never even really talked about that. We never even talked about that, about Seth kind of going face lately.
Oh, we never mentioned the fact that Seth fully went face. Like, you gotta look at it. I guess you do. I guess you do. I mean, like, dude, he came out and they tried to play it up. Like, you heard the announcer say, "This is how much Seth Rollins wants that championship. Like, that's how much the title means to him." It's like, no, he came out to save his brother Roman Reigns.
Right. At the end of the day, Roman's against Stephanie as well, so he's like, you know what? Roman still understands probably if I hop back in. You know, there's logic to that.
Like, it's been there. You know what I mean? Like, the subtleties have been there, and the crowd wanted to cheer for him when he fucking came back anyway.
Yeah, they did.
So I think that. I think that it was pretty clear when he jumped up onto the top of that cage and dove off onto Rusev and Kevin Owens at the end of Raw that, like, oh, that was a pretty babyface move.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not to mention, you know, the leap off the announce table onto Ruru at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a reason that they fucking top and tailed the show with that too. It's so like. You'd see Seth kind of being face on if you just tuned into it, or you know, like, or you caught it from the beginning.
Or you just watched the promo pack that they're going to have at the pay-per-view.
Exactly. So, all right, we're going Roman, and then of course Seth then versus KO in the main event.
Yeah, this is the one that I've been having trouble with.
We keep saying. There's no way they just fuck KO like that, right? But
they could totally.
They almost have to. And I'll tell you why. No. If Roman wins the U.S., Seth can align himself with that, and there's some sort of fuckery now between. I think Kevin Owens wins via DQ. Because I think Roman is going to try and avenge Seth. And because of maybe even Jericho interfering for KO to help him win against Rollins, right? That the ref doesn't see, something like that. Then Roman sort of like is sort of trying to realign with Seth. And he's the one that gets caught. Kevin Owens wins the belt. It's a real screwy finish. Like, that way, they can extend it, keep the belt on KO, and have a rematch with Seth. Or
I really hope that is not the case.
You want a straight up clean finish with those two guys?
Yes.
I know. I'm not sure that I do because I don't want either one of them to look bad.
I don't think either one of them are capable of looking bad.
I know that.
I think if you keep doing dusty finishes on shit, it's gonna look bad.
But that's the way they do it now. I mean, that's
no, not always. Like, that's the way we're conditioned to think that it's gonna happen. but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will.
We've not talked about the elephant in the room in this situation, is what's the likelihood of Triple H getting involved, of course.
I mean, I think that that's probably more likely.
Yeah. And it might be
Because
another
then that's going
screw
to set
job
up a thing
finish.
for them at fucking Survivor Series.
I mean, we'll see which direction they go, but for this one, I'm going Seth Rollins.
You going Seth?
I don't. It's yeah, and that's a last minute change from what I had written down. But after really thinking about it, I'm going Seth. I'm giving you a shot at this, bro. I mean,
I don't know, man, because like Kevin Owens is as over as a heel as Seth is as a face. I think that you almost need, like, do you want to just play hot potato with your title?
I know it's risky. It's risky, but Kevin Owens has the power to bounce back from it. If anybody can, it's him, right? And Seth really hasn't.
I was gonna say, are you really saying that Seth doesn't?
No, I'm not.
Are you honestly saying
I'm
Seth
honest.
doesn't?
I'm honestly not. But Seth's not been like cut a lot of slack since he came back. Like I think Triple H is gonna try and screw Seth and end up screwing KO. And Seth's going to get the belt, and then there's going to be a rematch. Like, we might see a bit of flip-flopping for, like, but what better two guys to kind of flip-flop a belt from? First off, they want to develop as quickly as they can a bit of a lineage for this belt, right? They want to have...
Yeah, of course, obviously, but you know what? Like, what good is a lineage if it literally passes forth, like 3 times in a month? That's not a lineage. That's a prop.
It is silly. It is silly, and at a certain point, you need to cut that
shit
out.
I'm going KO. I'm
going
100%
KO?
going KO.
All right, and trust me, I want that to be the case. I'm just not sure.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm going KO.
All right.
Because you are right, and there will be some sort of Triple H fuckery, and they do not need the title involved in that feud.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So moving on with the show, that concludes the end of the Clash of Champions predictions. There's a couple of different ones.
Really, the only matches that we need to watch are the Tag Team Championship match and the Universal Championship match, so we know which one of us is.
Yeah, those are the matches that count.
With being Nostradamus.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the only matches that we disagree on. Watch us get them all wrong. That's the fun part.
And somehow we're both wrong on both of those too.
Yeah, somehow we both lose. I don't know how it works, but that's going to happen. I did want to bring up a couple things though that have interested me about WWE in this past week. They've been throwing a couple Hogan clips in the ads, man. Again.
Dude, a lot
Hogan's
of Hogan,
in there.
A lot of Hogan voiceovers.
Yeah, like he's good, right? Like he's going to come back at some point.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to, because he won that lawsuit, he's going to come back.
It would, I even said that the other night, it would never have happened if he hadn't won the Gawker lawsuit. Like, that doesn't change the fact that he'd said racist shit, but he'll be back because he won.
Yeah, and then, dude, like that Hall and Nash interview with JBL on his show, they're showing footage of, them walking down the ramp with Hogan at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, I mean,
like dude, if we don't hear Real American at WrestleMania in Orlando this April,
we'll be surprised.
I will be shocked.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and we will both mark out for it too.
Of course, we will mark out for it, and of course, dude, and not only will we fucking mark out for it, but the whole stadium will pop for it.
Oh, yeah. Hometown hero, too, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he said some racist shit, but so does literally, 90% of everybody in Florida.
Yeah. there's probably way worse wrestlers on the roster now, to be honest. You know,
Probably.
like, or just wrestling or have wrestled. Like, on the grand scheme of things, yeah, Hogan, you're a scumbag, but we still kind of love you.
Oh, dude, like, I mean, Hulkamania was running wild all through my fucking childhood. I
Yeah.
don't know how to not love Hulk Hogan, as, you know, from my youth.
Speaking of another company that Hogan worked for.
Oh, yeah, dude.
What's
what are you
this
thinking
business,
about this?
man? The business with, I guess, with TNA, really in, I guess, pretty big financial trouble, and it sounds like they are maybe selling it for around, what, $4 million? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And it comes with like a
apparently that's
TV
around-
deal.
Dude, that's so cheap, honestly. That's so cheap. And I think that's around what WCW ended up selling for. WCW might have sold for like maybe closer to 10, but it wasn't much more
Wasn't
than
it
that.
how?
It was.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so
Because I remember Jericho saying that when he found out what it sold for, that he wished that he had known because he would have tried to buy it.
that makes sense. That makes complete sense. But I think it comes like you're buying the debt too. So like it's not, you know what I mean? Like you've got to pay off the bills.
But they
You got
could
to
absolve that. And from everything that I've read, literally the only reason that they would entertain buying that is to get the back catalog of footage for all of their current huge stuff.
No, that makes and that would be
AJ Styles,
that would be
Samoa
smart.
Joe,
That would be smart.
Bobby Roode. Yeah, dude, that would be huge. But
Just to have
I mean,
those clips from they're coming up and like, oh, because you can build so many stories with that. But is $4 million? It's not worth $4 million to buy those. You know, like if Vince like gets an offer for $2 million to just buy the archives, he'll do it in a heartbeat.
I gotta kind of disagree.
Yeah,
man.
you might be right.
Dude, I think that Vince, like, you know, the network, and you're buying all of that archival footage, like, of WCW and
Right.
Georgia Championship and all that shit. But, dude, TNA, how many years has TNA been in business? It's been over 10, right?
Oh, it's definitely over 10. I would say it's closer
Like
to 15.
probably.
Yeah, I'd say it's closer to 15.
So, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of footage, and that's a lot of their stars. That's a lot of contracts they could buy out. That's a lot of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of content available for the network.
I don't think it's a stupid decision. People are saying like, oh no, it would be awful to kill another promotion. But how many people are really watching TNA, and how good's really the product?
Dude, how many people have the
challenge
option
that.
to watch TNA?
Yeah, I don't even have the
I
option.
fucking want
TNA.
to watch TNA. I can't watch TNA.
I would every once in a while tune into TNA to check it out if it was available to me on standard cable. It's not.
Right. Dude, and like I say, I have a pretty good fucking cable
Right,
package.
better than
and I
mine.
can't get
Better
it.
than mine for sure. And
Yeah.
either way, I think here's part of it too is what if you even did an NXT versus TNA mini promotion for like
Right.
Like,
I did, and I read that too. Like,
I'm not coming up with that, by the way. Like, I definitely heard that
we
around
don't
the
come
internet
up with
wrestling
any
community.
of the ideas that we come up
No,
with
of
if
course
we're
not.
proposing them as news. If it's Baron Corbin, yes, we came
that's
up with
us.
that.
That's us. Don't fuck off. That's TM'd. But no, like I think it's an interesting point. Like it would make for an interesting angle to kind of do a mini invasion and like have the involvement with a good group of TNA guys. Like
Especially because it's literally across town.
Yeah, it's across town, and they could bring some of all those superstars could then be involved with the performance center, and it's good for them. It would make sense for WWE to do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the end it happens.
I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens, but I don't think it will be like a TNA or an Impact Wrestling invasion of NXT. I think you would be more likely to see a stable of like 5 or 6 of them. show up.
That would
because
and that would be
TNA,
smart. That would be cool. That would be cool though.
It would be. But also like TNA is a lot of their talent is not. It's not going to work in NXT or on the main roster. Like that's why they're there.
That's why they're there. Yeah. So you got to let a lot of contracts
for
go.
Every Samoa Joe and for every Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, like for every one of those guys, you got a lot of other like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, a lot of turds that we don't really need to see. But then again, if you were to throw them into the sort of NXT system, you might end up with a couple of gems that could be, a couple of diamonds in the rough type thing that you could turn into something. You never ever know.
And then you run, but you also, like, you have an hour a week for NXT. You already have too many people.
Yeah, but we've seen how quick they do need to promote some of those guys to support the main roster. So you got to, I think it's like a cycle. And then we see how quickly
some of them need to get sent back to NXT because they fucking shit out on the main roster because the crowd doesn't get it.
I wonder how many people TNA has on their roster. You think it's over?
I don't know.
I wonder if it's over 30. It's like I wonder like whereabouts that is because I think they do business differently as well because they don't sign people to super long contracts. I think they.
Right. I mean, and that the smark is like just screaming at us.
Well, I don't care. I don't care.
As he's listening to it right now.
Well, no, they can respond in our Facebook group. They can find our Oh No Wrestling group on Facebook, and they can tell us all this stuff. I'm only here to
be clear is that it's Oh No is one word, and then wrestling is the next. It is not O dash no. It is OHNO.
OHNO dash wrestling. So yeah. Just find us. Just type it in the search thing. There's gonna be a group option. You'd like that one? Come on, get in there, motherfuckers. You're dumb. I did want to ask you how you feel about Luke Harper coming back, and also Emma. Emma's on the cusp of it.
Yay.
No, I liked Emma, to be honest with you. I think she needs.
I did too, and I liked her evil Emma gimmick a lot more than I liked her goofy dancing gimmick.
She kind of got booted out of there like at the wrong, not booted, but got an injury at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. Yeah, but then it just kind of becomes like, where's she gonna go?
She's gonna.
To Raw?
I think she's gonna go to Raw. I think she's going to have to go to Raw, and then she's going to be part of the whole thing of Charlotte.
No, she does not have to. Oh, God. Can we get some other actual wrestlers on fucking SmackDown? Can we get some actual women wrestlers on SmackDown? Not saying that Emma's the best, but Jesus fucking Christ, she's better than what they've got.
You're absolutely right, but the reason that they won't do it is she's got a pre-existing thing and that fits in with the current set up with Charlotte, Dana, and Charlotte.
Aware.
I mean, they could forget that overnight, like they always do anyway with everything.
Everything.
And you're right; dude, she should go to SmackDown. She should.
They have no roster depth on SmackDown. Like the women's, it's like who gives a shit? You put the belt on Carmella, will not watch a fucking match as long as she's champion. I don't care. She's garbage.
You're absolutely right. No one wants to see that, and no one wants to see Nikki with the belt either. So, like, you've really at this point they did put the right two people in, the match with Alexa Bliss and Becky, but when Naomi is like the next person that you'd put the belt on, you got to question yourself a little bit.
Yeah, Naomi and Natty.
Yeah, and I'm so done with Natty. She's so awful and boring.
Yes.
She has
somehow gotten so much worse.
And she was better as a face, honestly. Like she was sort of endearing, and now she's just annoying. I don't want anything to do with it.
She was sort of endearing. She was the best when she was with fucking Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Yeah, see, that's in that dark period that I missed.
Yeah, right before
I came back. That's right before I came back. But I don't know. Luke Harper. I think he needs to go back with Bray, and they actually need to start fucking running shit
on SmackDown.
I feel like Bray should be one of the only like gimmicks that might be able to transcend brands every once in a while, just Wyatt family type shit. And that maybe you put Luke on Raw. I'm not sure. But I also think Luke would be good on SmackDown as a contender for the Intercontinental Championship, which he's already held.
He's held the belt already.
Yes.
So, but I gotta 100% disagree on Bray hopping. Like, yeah, his character could, but like, dude, if you're gonna have a brand split, have a brand split.
I know exactly what you're saying, and it makes complete sense. If you're selling the product from those different angles, you can't have them do that all the time. It's stupid because it's false expectations at a certain point. Like, you don't know what you're paying for. And then you're just gonna end up with fucking like Braun Strowman versus Luke Harper. None of it matters anymore, and it just all gets.
None of it matters, and Strowman will end up fucking injuring him anyway.
So, are you okay with it on dark matches? Because they're doing that.
What, Braun Strowman versus Luke Harper?
No. Just they're doing a lot of crossovers of brands on dark matches at SmackDown and Raw shows.
A lot of them were because of, and no, I'm not okay with that. A lot of them were because of pre-existing advertisements.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Like the whole John Cena, like randomly showing up on Raw in the middle of a commercial break to have an impromptu match, that kind of shit. Like, those were because of, like they had advertised these different superstars to appear.
So yeah, they can't exactly go back on their word. And I mean, it's better, it's obviously better that it's a dark match than it be on TV. But yeah. But I mean, dude, they are running, like, SmackDown those superstars are working on Monday nights. They're working in whatever. Right, they're doing a house show on their own as the SmackDown crew on Monday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have no disillusions to that. I'm not saying that. It's just so it's
just like I just don't understand. It's like, why would you have, like, what's the point? Unless you're trying to live up to an advertisement that you would have. Like, I don't understand why you would have these different superstars crossing over on dark matches.
Right. Did you hear the DLC guys that you're going to get on the new game?
I know the only one that I know for sure is your favorite of all time, Papa Shango.
Yes, Papa Shango is coming. You can get the Godfather and Papa Shango. By the way, 2K17, send me some money. I'm going to do you an ad real quick. Because Kerry Von Erich's in it too. You got the Texas Tornado.
Is it with or without his foot?
Dude. If they better have him without his foot as well. They haven't. That's not been disclosed, but that would be great.
That's the second set of DLC.
Yeah. So yeah. Then we got Austin Aries, which is cool.
Awesome.
Everybody. I know Taylor's gonna love this one. Is the first one he's gonna download. Taylor, I know you're gonna love this. You're a big fan of the show. I know you've made it this far. I know you've listened because you're going to criticize me all day tomorrow about it. But Mojo Riley, your favorite, he's going to hype you up every time you play 2K17 now.
Good. Mojo Riley.
Uh-huh. Anderson and Gallows are DLC, but at least they're DLC. Nice. Ty Dillinger. He's a
perfect 10, just like this 10. Episode.
You know what? I tell you what, it's been a good episode. Eddie Guerrero is also going to be in there. So
nice.
That's
Latino feet.
Yeah. Those are some of your downloadable content for 2K.
I mean, I actually do need to. I'll probably pre-order it like the week before it goes on sale, which it'll be a wedding present to myself. I'll just pre-order 2K17, and then I'll get like the Goldberg and Halloween Havoc downloads. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, you might as well. You're gonna do
I
it.
might
You
as
know
well.
you're gonna get it eventually, so you just do it.
Oh, I know I'm gonna get it eventually.
Yeah,
That's not a
yeah.
question. It's one of the few games that I actually like buy when they come out.
I don't do these games, you know. I am interested when things like this come out because it's just exciting. Like, oh, I would love to play as Papa Shango, you know, like.
But I don't know how any of that shit really works.
Me neither. But how expensive is the DLC shit?
It depends. Like that pack it'll be at least $10.
Oh, so they sell them as like pack. They can't sell them just like as an individual guy, like for 99
Oh no, you
cents.
could probably, but that's the thing is it's going to be more expensive to buy them individually.
Yeah. Then just to buy the season of a show or whatever it is rather than the episode. Makes sense. Or an album, like versus song. Yeah.
Dude, trust me, they get you. The cheapest thing to do is buy the $20 season pass for the game. Which will get you all of the downloadable content that they release for it.
Vince is going all the way to the bank.
Dude, I don't know how much fucking money Vince has gotten from me over the years just from video games, but it's a lot.
Oh, I'm sure Vince over the years, man, it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
From me, yes.
From just you alone.
Yes.
It's got to be, right?
Oh, of course.
Like over the years?
I pretty much exclusively, if I'm not at work, I pretty much exclusively wear wrestling shirts now. I wear wrestling shirts or clinic shirts. That's it. Depends on who I'm going to be around.
You might throw an Ono Radio Show shirt in there every once in a while.
I do actually. I wore the Ono Radio Show shirt to a wedding reception I went to last week.
That's pretty classy. I bet a lot of people.
It was underneath my button up, but I made sure to show people that the fucking ship was represented.
Nice. Did you hand out some business cards?
I did. I have been. They're in my Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, that's right. He's got a mini Money in the Bank briefcase for his business cards for
that's right.
Ono Radio Show, which
I Radio Show business cards.
We're gonna have to get some Ono wrestling cards here soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Post Denver, post wedding. That's on the list of things to do. All right, so just.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start hitting you guys with some serious merch options.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get some merch options out your way because Ono Wrestling needs to make some money, and if it can help support itself, that would just be a bonus. You know, like. We're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts right now. Also, if you want to advertise on either Ono Radio Show, Ono Wrestling, or both, just hit me up. You know, we do that sort of thing. So.
Oh yeah, we make that shit happen
hardcore. Just like this next thing that's been like going up and down, around, and all about the town on the Facebooks. All day today, I've been inundated with. Hey, these 3 people represent me. These are fictional characters. Like, pick 3 fictional characters that represent me in my world. And people throw up shit like, I don't know. I've seen Baloo from the Jungle Book sleeping in a hammock. Like, I'm a sleepy fat bastard.
Because I'm lazy and I'm sleepy.
You know, I've seen Beaker from Muppets. I've seen, all sorts of weird fictional things. And like, okay, like, all right. Like some of them are so douchey and ridiculous. I decided to make mine for this particular one extremely douchey. And you've seen the one I posted, right?
You're Archer? Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh, you're so cool. You're like someone threw a James Bond in theirs. Like, you're so James Bondy.
Yeah, you're totally James Bond. I get that from you.
Yeah. So I decided to make mine all like just fucking ripped dudes that I'm like big, huge, muscled dudes. That like, I did Rambo with a machine gun. I did John Cena. And of course I did Bane, he's pretty ripped too, and Tom Hardy. So I did all these guys that were exactly not like me, and then now people are accusing me of being homoerotic, Duncan. I mean, and I don't see it. Do you?
No, dude, I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know what they're talking about at all. I don't know.
Fucking wrestle in spandex. There's nothing fucking homoerotic about that at all. It's silly.
Nothing. These people, it's all man. It's just man time. It's men stuff. Okay. This is just man shit.
Yeah, this is dude time.
Dude time. So I thought we could do the same thing that everybody else is doing. Instead, we would do it with wrestlers because that would make sense, right? the three wrestlers that best represent us. Like if you were to
Well,
pick
right, and now does
three
this
wrestlers.
represent you physically?
No. Through ethos, I mean, it can be any. I mean, you maybe want to include physical with like ethos, and there's all sorts of parts of your parts of who you are,
Gotcha.
like that make it
gotcha.
up. Think about what makes a wrestler. He's got the talking skills. He's got the physical abilities of. He's got this. He's got that. Right.
Oh yeah.
Build of so on and so forth. So I decided to go with my three. Do you want me to do my three, I guess, before you do yours?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Okay. So, because, I mean, and this guy I actually used to look up to when I was a kid, because I was kind of an underdog, shall you say, and I was really, really skinny, and it meant the world to me. It was such a big deal and such like a, whoa, this is crazy that it happened, that the jobber, the 1, 2, 3
The 1, 2, 3
kid
kid. How did I know you was going to have X-Pac on his list?
is X-Pac, and yes, X-Pac is the first guy that does. He represents me in a slight way because he overcame adversity, Duncan. Like
he's a scrawny little fucker.
And he's a scrawny little fucker. Like I've had to do in my life and battle that, and he became. I mean, what was? I know was he a European champion? I know he was a tag champ.
Yep.
European and tag. Trying to think if he held anything else. I mean, I'm sure we could look it up. I'm sure the smarks will get back to us on that later.
Yep, I'm sure I'm not gonna look it up.
I'm sure I'm not either. But that was my first pick. All right, and I think that's kind of accurate, right? Like you can see why I would.
No,
pick
yeah.
The second one is going to catch you probably not by surprise at all, and it's more related to recent events, but it's going to relate to how I feel about this guy lately and how he's presenting himself in the ring. You see, I'm going to go with Bo Dallas, Duncan, because not only does Bo believes in him. And he's got a spicy streak going to him right now. Bo
believe in Bo,
and Bo believes in Bo, and Bo's really spicy right now. And he also apparently likes to get super drunk, get kicked off of airplanes for singing the Lion King song as loud as he can while drunk,
and calling Seth Rollins a dick.
And calls Seth Rollins a dick. Yes, so. That's something I would do, Duncan. You know what? That's me. You know that's exactly something I would do or would have done 100%. In my life. It's spirit animal, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's primal.
Now, the third one is one that I had to decide between two. And I'm pretty sure when I say the one, you'll be able to guess the other one that it could have been. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to go because of his longevity, his quick wit, his master of the microphone. Okay? Mastery, by the way. I caught myself there. Have no fear.
Right.
Have no fear, listener. Chris Jericho, you see. I mean, it obviously makes sense.
The greatest of all time.
I am the GOAT. So it would make sense that... it would be Chris Jericho, just because of he's not exactly he's not exactly the lady killer all the time, you see. Whereas another guy I was gonna pick was gonna be a lady killer all the time. I've never been the lady killer, but I still have a dickish tendency with wild charisma, and that's the reason that I went with Chris Jericho over
the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so those are my three. How did you feel I did? How accurate?
I think you did pretty good. I think that's a pretty accurate representation of you for sure.
I put some thought into that, and now I'm really, really excited to hear where you're going to go with yours.
Where I'm going to go with mine. All right. I think first off the top, I like my number one draft pick in the three wrestlers that represent me. I am going to have to go with Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mick Foley.
That's okay. So are you going Mick, or are you going Cactus?
And see, that's where that's where I'm torn because Mankind was like the first, like Mankind, and then you discover, like really, really discover Cactus Jack, and you're just like, oh. So, but honestly, it's the true Mick Foley
that best
like
represents
the
you
ECW
currently.
Mick Foley.
Maybe in your early days, it would have been a Cactus Jack, or it would have been a Mankind. Like earlier, like 10 years ago, it might have been that.
Younger
but now,
Duncan, yeah.
Younger Duncan would have been that. But now, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's Mick Foley. Yeah.
And plus, I don't have the greatest body. I got shitty knees.
You're
I
a
too am
goofy,
missing my
fun
front
guy
teeth.
with a beard, and you've got no teeth, and you've been through some shit, but you're a lovable individual at the end of the day, and what everybody, I don't care what anybody says, Mick, for everything he's been through, is doing a damn good job, and you need to lay off of him. I think he's good on the mic and better than he's given credit for. Fuck
Absolutely.
you.
And he's also in better physical shape than he's been in years.
In years, just like you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Owen. I appreciate that.
No. All right. So that's number one. That's really good.
Yeah, so number one, we got Mick Foley. Number two, I'm going to have to go with whom I would say is my primal spirit animal in the wrestling world. The man, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View,
Oh, man.
Mr. 420 himself, Rob
Van. Damn. That makes a lot of sense. He's
the man that smokes more weed than anybody else in WWE history, I would hazard to guess. The man who Owen and I have both witnessed getting
I've
stoned.
bummed him smokes. I'm pretty sure I've caught him hitting one-hitters around the corner from where I used to work. Like, this isn't even a
caught him
joke.
Smoking out of an apple. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like a little kid, like right before a match. Like in his, like...
in his singlet.
In his singlet, exactly. It's great,
So
though.
Rob Van Dam's definitely like my... Like, no, RVD is my dude. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Makes a lot of sense.
And then, like, it was tough, man. Like, because there's so many others that could have, like, I give no fucks. So maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That would be fitting. That would be sort of fitting.
It would be very fitting, but I'm not quite as confrontational as Mr. Stone Cold is.
And you're not as redneck.
Right.
You're not as redneck.
Yeah, I had to think about it, and I thought long, and I thought hard, and I was just like... And then I looked down at my knuckles.
That's right. I was surprised this did not come sooner.
Oh, no, because you saved the best for last.
Uh-huh.
So I have to go with the wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying. I got to go with Space Mountain himself. Woo! The Nature Boy.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Yeah. For those of you who
You
don't
gotta
know,
do it.
Have you ever posted the picture in our group?
I don't think I have.
You need to post that.
Tonight.
Post that picture tonight. Well, I'm actually going to post. You know what we should just do is, like, everybody's posted the collage of the three pictures. I'll post a collage of both of our things, and you can post the woos separately. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll do that. And I think that's it, because I like both of our representations, and not only is it tattooed on your knuckles, Duncan, it's what you've always wanted to be. You've always wanted to be the Nature Boy. You've always not that you're like a super flamboyant, like a center of attention type guy, but you've wanted to be able to be the guy that's wheeling, dealing, limousines.
You walk in the room and people are just like, that's the Nature Boy. Like, I walk in the room and people are just like, that's the King of Bong style.
And I'll tell you what, Duncan, for all we're kidding around, you have a presence when you walk in any room, and you always have ever since I've met you. That's why we became friends so quickly. So it's sort of apt. You have that, and it's, hey, man, you don't teach that sort of thing. You're born with that sort of thing, man. Like, that's not...
That's true. Like, that's the kind of thing. Well, that's the kind of thing you're born with, and then you harness it through years upon years of watching Ric Flair strut about, just like he's about to blow a blood vessel, and then drop the elbow on his suit coat and fucking maybe blade a little bit, and there you go. The weed helps. So
before we go, I wanted to ask a question that is just something stupid that I've always thought. I've just always wondered exactly how they pull this off in certain occasions and how long certain wrestlers must have had to have spent underneath the ring to pull off gags. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you ever really thought about it? Like with Kane in particular.
When Big Show debuted.
Yeah. Kane coming through rings and like shit like that. Like they had to have been under there for a while, right?
Dude, you would think, because like I've been to live wrestling events and you see when shit happens.
Hooded figures come through.
And you would notice
some of that.
Some dude dressed in all black just like getting under the ring.
Yeah, like.
It's almost like they would have to do it before the fucking show started.
And that's what I've always kind of thought. Like, I bet you at times there have been guys with like a cot down there or something. Like, they've just...
I mean, it's not that high. Like, that's the thing, is there's not a whole lot of clearance under there.
No, there isn't really. Like, they might just be laying on a mat down there. They're under there the whole show.
I also wonder if they don't, like, dress him up like a road crew guy and kind of, like,
have the outfit underneath to change into or strip off from. And
or, like, because, like, dude, you remember back when Austin was dressed up as the camera guy.
That makes sense, too, yeah. Like, that's how they probably pull it off.
It's and then like something's happening, and they're like maybe
it's all misdirection, I suppose. It's all like a big magic trick.
Dude, they darken the arenas a lot, especially when they're showing like video clips and shit like that. So if you're looking up at that, you're not really paying attention to what might be happening around the ring. So
I keep coming back to this Kane thing though in my head because of just I think was it a Hell in the Cell match where you like pulled the Undertaker through he came through the fucking mat like at a certain point.
I don't know, dude.
Pulled the Undertaker
pulled like 4 people through the mat.
Yeah. But I almost wonder, like, are they down there? Do they have like a radio? It's like, hey, Glenn Jacobs, you good down there, Glenn? You good? Okay.
You good?
All right, it's coming up. All right, do it now. Go through it. Yeah, go through it now. And he's like, okay, boss. You know what I mean? He's got to have like a thing down there to tell him or something, right? Like to, hey,
dude,
do
I would
it
imagine,
now.
unless there's like some sort of
like he can't just
signal that a ref gives or something. Like they give signals all the time. Like
absolutely they do.
Well,
the refs got the way, always the one really. He's got the earpiece. He's kind of, I mean, the ref's important.
Right. I probably don't think that he's got a radio down there.
I don't know though. With something like that, I feel like he might do. It's like, okay, here's the time. Let's do it. Like
he could.
He's in this spot that we figured out.
Might. For all I know, but dude, I don't know.
Let us know your thoughts on that in the chat room or in, I said, in the group or whatever. Let us know your thoughts on that.
Trickery.
What sort of trickery do you think actually
down there?
Like how long in advance do you think they're going down there? All that stuff. I want to know what you guys know. And what you think they actually do.
And what you think we should know.
Yeah.
Clearly we don't know very fucking much.
No, I don't know anything about that. Like that's just really interesting to me. It's just really interesting to me. Do you want to get out of here, dude?
I think it might be time.
I think it might be time as well. The only song I could really play just because of our list tonight. I'm going with this one, and you'll know it right off the bat, Duncan. You'll know it. Just hang on. Give it a second here. Why are you not playing? Thank you very much. What are you doing? You're still there, so the internet's not down.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, man. Is the volume down? Did I turn the volume down? No. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to add that in post. Pretend that we're listening to the 1-2-3 Kid right now. Yeah.
All right, I definitely will.
Guys, it's been a fun episode. Not even kidding. I will put the 1, 2, 3 and kid in right here. Duncan, always a pleasure,
Owen?
my friend.
Absolutely, my man.
I really enjoyed this show, and I can't wait to do this again next week. For everyone out there, definitely go to onowrestling.com, which you probably already have. Like us on iTunes too. Like, give us that whole 5-star thing. That'll probably help, because you need to subscribe to us. Get your wrestling shit every week. It's gonna be this. I don't really see it changing much from this format. I mean, we keep throwing things around, but we do what sticks every week. And I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying what we're doing, Duncan.
I am too, man. I'm really loving what we got going on, and excited for everybody that's in the Facebook and listening to the page and being a part of our degenerate wrestling fan community we got going on here, and excited for it. So don't be shy. We're really not scary, and keep coming back.
Apart from Taylor, he's showed up last week to the show, and he's kind of scary. He's like the bully of the chat room over there. He's bullying everybody up. He just, hey, I know more about wrestling than you, blah blah blah. That's the smarkest smarks. Feel free to everybody fuck with Taylor. You know him, so just do that. See you next week.
Yeah.